In this video, I'm talking to the podcasters who are looking for sponsors. I want to cover the do's and don'ts of podcast sponsorship. Check it out. Before we dive into the do's and don'ts of pitching sponsors for your podcast, if you're new to the channel, take a moment now to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you never miss another one of our sponsorship videos. None of these do's and don'ts are in any particular order. They're all equally amazing or terrible, depending how you look at it. The biggest do is do have a sponsorship discovery session first. Don't just send a rate card. Don't just send a proposal. Don't just send them to a website to buy some sponsorship assets a la carte. Sit down with your prospects, do a proper discovery, and find out what the sponsors are trying to achieve so that you can really maximize your sponsorship revenue. Definitely don't pitch before you know what your assets and activations are worth. If all you're doing is selling ad space for a low CPM, you're never really going to make any money unless you happen to have 100 million downloads every month. But for everybody else, you want to be creating custom assets, custom activations, custom opportunities, and you want to value them properly. Value them based on your audience, the value of your brand, and what you can deliver on for your sponsors. Sponsorship is more than just reading some script on air provided by your sponsors. It's not just advertising. Do customize your sponsorship package. No gold, silver, bronze allowed. Don't just expect everyone to buy the same things. You want to have a conversation and create something custom just for your potential sponsors. Don't include pricing in your proposal. You want to focus on audience, activation opportunities, case studies, not pricing. Why? Because you're going to negotiate this in your discovery meeting live with your sponsors rather than just trying to sell from some price sheet. Do act like a professional. It doesn't matter how laid back your brand is or your approach to podcasting is, you are stepping into the world of sponsors. So make sure you act like a professional and not an amateur when it comes to sponsorship. Remember, you're asking for marketing dollars to be invested in your podcast, so you have to show up like a marketing investment. Don't send your sponsorship proposal early. What do I mean by this? You don't want to send your sponsorship proposal until after you've had a conversation with a sponsor. This will give you the opportunity to customize something just for them. Sending a sponsorship proposal too early in the relationship or in the conversation, and certainly never in the very first email, send it too early, and it's all risk. You risk being rejected before you've even had a chance to present yourself. So don't send your sponsorship proposal too early. Do highlight audience data. I don't just mean how many downloads you get every month or every episode. I'm talking about detailed audience analysis. Of course, your audience represents people who like your subject matter. That's obvious. But people are more than just one thing, as Coach Mark likes to say on our team. We like to see at least 25 data points on your audience and at least 3 sample avatars of your listener. Make sure you highlight audience data if you are after sponsorship. And don't be too salesy. This is a business-to-business sales process. You want to engage in conversation, fully understand what the sponsor is after, determine whether or not you can even deliver, and make sure that you are offering good return on investment. This is more like a long negotiation than it is a hard line sales conversation. And of course, get everything in writing. Make sure you sit down with a lawyer who is skilled in the area of writing these types of contracts, and everything you agree on with a sponsor, get in writing. In fact, I also recommend as soon as you close a sponsor, have them sign on the dotted line, book a meeting, and go over everything you've agreed to make sure you're on the same page. The last thing you want is to get halfway through an agreement only to discover that you and your sponsor are not on the same page. I would love it if you could drop down below your biggest takeaway from this video or what you would add. What's the one thing that you think is a must do or a must not do if you're looking for podcast sponsorship. And remember, the sponsorship proposal does not make the sale. You do. Good luck out there.